So I watched a video from another creator last night that made an interesting point that during my marriage, I was the best man ever. I was the most supportive husband ever. I was the most supportive dad ever. I coached flag football. I coached wrestling for 6 years while my little boys were wrestling. I coached youth basketball while my oldest daughter was on that team. I hauled my kids everywhere for their youth rodeos. We practiced for 4-H shows and rodeos almost every day through the summer. I was their roping coach. I was the one who shod their horses. Was also their horse dentist, and I was the mechanic and the farmer and the initial dog trainer in our dog business, and I was the one who worried about finding the pallets of dog food that we used in our business. I was the one tasked with finding the hay for all the horses and feeding the cows and calving out the cows, and I was the superstar until we got divorced. And then I was banished to my RV trailer in our driveway. And then I was a dangerous dad. I wasn't an abusive dad, but I was coined dangerous. She told the kids that I would be a danger to her if they told me that they were moving to another state before they did. She then started to tell our neighbors that I was dangerous and mean and manipulative. So it's really interesting that while we are married to these highly volatile and manipulative women, that we are the greatest man on earth. And the second the divorce enters the picture, apparently we are on the right hand of the devil. This really is the perfect definition of toxicity. Now, when we are in the storm of all of this, we don't realize it because we're literally in a cloud of cortisol-induced reaction. And it's really, really difficult to see all of these details when you're in the middle of the sheer chaos. But looking back, I can see how toxic it was. I can see how ironic all of it is. It is truly amazing to me how hard it is to see out from the inside.
The man tells no lies. Those of us that have been in that situation, we understand. We get it. It's not easy. It's terrible. It's probably the worst thing a man could ever go through, in my opinion. But the cultural conversation around marriage, which I'd like to get into, shifted from the family unit to this thing we call individual fulfillment. Marriage was no longer about sacrifice and cooperation, but about personal happiness. And when that happiness ended on one side, often the woman, because of societal conditioning, was encouraged to, quote unquote, find herself with legal and financial systems ready to back her up. The husband, who might have built his entire life around providing stability, instantly becomes the obstacle to her freedom. And that's where the language flips. From husband to control freak. From leader to, like he said, abuser. From protector to a dangerous man. Just like that. The narrative is engineered to justify destruction of the family unit. Like, you guys don't understand that family court system is incentivized to keep conflict alive. I mean, maybe now you guys are starting to wake up, but they're using that against us. The courts collect filing fees. States receive this title. I forget if it was Title 5 or 6 or 4, but it's Title D funding from the federal government for enforcing child support orders. Lawyers make money from ongoing litigation. The system doesn't profit from reconciliation. It profits from division. So if a wife accuses a husband of being dangerous or unstable, even without evidence, it justifies custody limitations. It justifies higher child support. It justifies restraining orders, which often come with court-mandated programs. And each one of those feeds this machine. And once the narrative is set, that's it, he's dangerous. The woman receives emotional validation from the system and online communities. Social media reinforces victimhood as empowerment. Divorce support groups online encourage exaggeration and retaliation instead of reflection and accountability. We see it every day. Men are told to take it on the chin, man up, be strong for the kids. Those are the talking points. While the woman's emotions are weaponized as evidence. So a man who was once the pillar of his community now becomes socially erased. And I think if you zoom out, this has been happening for decades, man, because it serves a larger social purpose. A society with weak fathers is easier to control, period. And if men are afraid to marry, if they're afraid to discipline, they're scared to lead, they withdraw and the system steps in as the new father. Schools, courts, and media then shape the next generation, not the families. So yeah, it's not just personal. All of this is strategic. It's part of the plan. You're seeing the downstream effects of systemic father erasure. So how do we fix this? I don't think there's no single fix. There's not one single thing we can do to fix it, but it starts with education and exposure and structure. Men must document everything. Never assume fairness will protect you. Only evidence will. Record everything. Teach your sons the legal game early. Know what marriage contracts, custody laws, false accusation protections really mean. We got to promote cultural change, man. That means us sharing our stories, creating networks, rebuilding community credibility outside the system. So when false accusations do happen, the community doesn't just take one side. We have to elect the right people who will reform these damn laws. Like no fault divorce and false allegation penalties, all of that must be revisited. Equal custody should be the default and not the exception. I'll end this by saying this. The modern system doesn't destroy us because we're bad husbands, man. It destroys us because we are the last line of defense between the state and our children. And it's all part of the plan. I'm going to leave it there. I'm always going to link the content creator back to the description on my YouTube channel, though. I know a lot of you guys are probably going through it. And I read it in the comments how everybody's afraid to be married, but we got to start somewhere. We have to change it somewhere. Leave it in the comments, everybody. I'll see you guys on the next one.